Did you see that, ladies and gentlemen?
Explosive power in both hands. A confident swagger reflected in his performance each time out. And as his stock rises, he meets expectation head-on, the way he knows best.
I ain't trying to bring you down, but for real, you might as well give up now. Think you got a chance, but I don't see how.
A 95% knockout ratio, equal to that of Wilder, and likened only to the sport's biggest hitters.
No matter the problem, refuse to lose. So how you win it, man? You can choose. If you can't get
Certified elite-level fighters such as Inoue, Beterbiev, Golovkin, Joshua, and many more.
Is bloody. That was as devastating a knockout as you will see.
Though this has long been the case. From throwback heavyweights like Marciano, Foreman, and Tyson, to smaller yet equally devastating names such as Chavez, Moore, and Valero.
Came here ready to fight on this night, you better just run for your life.
Standout fighters with incredible KO stats that Davis bids to put himself alongside.
Punishment for getting in trouble at school, for whatever the issue may have been, was to have to spar everyone who was in the gym at the time.
After a first-round demolition of Hugo Ruiz in February, he now looks towards his 22nd opponent. Mandatory, ordered by the WBA, 25-year-old Panamanian fighter, Ricardo Nunez. Gervonta, a comfortable favorite, anticipates his 20th knockout. Though, with Santa Cruz, Lomachenko, and Farmer all ready for a shot at the young Baltimore star, it's clear his biggest challenges are yet to come. And so, ready to become the first Baltimore native to defend his title on home turf in almost 80 years, please click thumbs up, subscribe, and press the bell button to see our latest uploads, as we take a look at 10 times Gervonta Davis overwhelmed and knocked out his opponent.
Down for the first time in his career, and it was night over.
Welcome to a Motivadia presentation.
Run for your life. Run for your life. Run for your life.
It's a chance for us to see a guy that Floyd Mayweather told us was his brightest prospect, the guy by the name of Gervonta Davis.
First, considered his initial step up to the big stage, we go back 4 years to the Mayweather-Berto undercard. His first time out in Vegas at the MGM on national television against Filipino Ricky Dulé.
Gervonta Davis, who takes a sizable step up in caliber of competition today.
And aggressive from the offset, doing damage with his first handful of punches. He had one thing on his mind. Down from a straight left, just halfway into the opening round, Dulé wanted no part of it.
It's over.
He came into the ring with the nickname The Terror. I think he left the ring with the nickname The Terrified.
Making swift progress through the ranks, Davis's next test came just a month later. This time against Mexican fighter Cristobal Cruz in Florida on the Scott Thompson heavyweight undercard. In similar fashion, Davis landed another huge straight left 2 minutes into the bout.
Straight left, and that puts Cruz on the canvas.
However, 62-fight veteran Cruz managed to survive for the time being. At least until a trademark looping left uppercut hit home.
Stuns Cruz, and he goes down. Beautiful.
Clearly hurt, it was game over in the third.
He didn't know he was hit, and then he found out he was hit, and then he went back down.
Back in Vegas at the end of 2015, 1 month later, came another tough Mexican fighter. This time, 23-year-old Sanchez offered some resistance.
You know Gervonta Davis wants to put on a show.
Stalking his opponent, but not rushing his work, Gervonta relied on his accuracy and composure. And it wasn't until dropping his opponent in the 8th, the end came in clear sight.
Oh, nice uppercut. Oh, and a second one drops Sanchez. First knockdown of the fight.
True to form, it was another thunderous left which echoed throughout ringside in round 9, resulting in an immediate end.
Oh, that's why. Lightning quick power.
4 months on, his 15th outing came against Guillermo Avila, a 20-fight professional. In the third, landing the same shot that had previously broke Sanchez's nose, Gervonta opened up a huge cut. And smelling blood from here on, his confidence grew, landing massive body shots.
That body shot hurt him. These shots.
Stalking for another 2 rounds, the American again showed maturity and composure.
This could be a stoppage. Final seconds of the round.
Until the 6th, where he pulled off one of his most iconic stoppages, throwing 6 left uppercuts.
And now Davis thinks he's got him done, and Michelle Myers has seen enough. It is over.
Now with just 33 professional rounds to his name, averaging just 2 rounds per fight, things didn't slow down whatsoever when he faced another veteran Mexican fighter, Mario Macias.
We get a first-round look at one of the most hyped prospects in the division, Jim.
This time, just 20 seconds into the bout, Tank landed a lunging left hook, one of the most picture-perfect shots of his career. Clean on the temple, his opponent's legs collapsed underneath him, and that's all she wrote. Cue the beaming smiles from his mentor, Mayweather, at ringside. Moving on another 6 months to the DeGale Jack undercard in early 2017. Out against Jose Pedraza, an unbeaten Puerto Rican for his first world title, age 22.
Many ringside observers wondering which version of Gervonta Davis we will see.
Here, Davis's strength-skill combination became as apparent as ever. Landing with increasing ease, Pedraza's game plan fell right into his hands.
And it appears Davis' confidence is growing by the second.
Displaying clear disregard for his opponent's power in the later rounds, the finish came in 7. One of his most impressive finishes of today, especially against a fast, certified fighter like Pedraza.
New IBF Junior Lightweight Champion of the World.
Number 7, and time for a change of scenery. Taking his reputation across the pond to face another unbeaten rising star, Liam Walsh.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you'll agree a terrific contest lined up for tomorrow night at the
The Brit fought cautiously, immediately on the back foot, but did enough to keep the Baltimore fighter at bay.
That's a big left hand, and Walsh wants to hold on. He knows that he hurt him with that one.
Entering the 3rd round, however, Davis found an inevitable opening.
Looking for him now, and he's trying to finish it here.
And dropping his opponent with a flurry of shots in the 3rd, it was clear Walsh simply couldn't live with the power.
When Davis unleashed the power shots, there was only going to be one winner.
His 3rd fight of 2017 against a 3rd unbeaten fighter. Starting out the aggressor, Fonseca initially put pressure on the American, though the 2nd round saw a reverse in roles as Davis landed with bad intentions.
He's so strong.
Good uppercut.
From here, Gervonta grew more comfortable through the rounds.
Oh, and he lands the uppercut. So he's
Landing what was deemed a questionable looping left hand in the 8th, his opponent was unable to make the count.
And it's over. Look at this. Yes.
Not quite the crowning he had hoped for, but a learning curve and exceptional display of power saw the Tank move to 19-0. Returning to the world title picture on the Broner Vargas card,
You ain't with me.
Davis was back at the Barclays Center a year ago, scoring 3 quick-fire knockdowns against Cuellar, a sturdy 31-year-old Argentinian.
The bell and round 1.
The first coming from a crunching left body shot in round 2. The second from a right-hand body shot in the 3rd.
Right hooks to the body.
And just a minute later, after an accumulation of shots, it was all over.
He was open for body shots, so I took the open shots.
He now eyed up Mares after putting away a mutual opponent quicker, slicker, and more emphatically. And it looked set to happen, the biggest test of his career, until fight week, with Mares suffering a potentially career-ending eye injury, putting him out of the fight.
The specialist, and he said, Abner, you have a detached retina. You're not going to be able to fight.
And so stepped in the heavy-handed Hugo Ruiz, also training out of California. Despite a clear size advantage, Ruiz failed to establish a jab early on and was unable to answer the American shots and movement. fatal against a fighter as sharp and dangerous as Gervonta Davis.
And down goes Ruiz in the first round.
His 23rd bout, now possessing 20 knockouts, which leaves fans questioning just how far Baltimore's rising star can go. Undeniable power and skills, matched by a familiar self-assuredness to that of his mentor.
And this fight is over!
Blowing away his only mutual opponent to Lomachenko in Pedraza, where the Ukrainian had much more difficulty. Though, much like Wilder's situation with Fury in the heavyweight division, it won't be until he faces a fast, slick, and durable opponent nearing the top of the division that we see just what the tank is truly capable of. Barista, draw me a large cafe latte doppio hazelnut and make it flat. I'm leaving room for a Motividia presentation.